So last time the dilemma was this wall that would divide the office bathroom from the shop. I had to put it in such a place to allow the width of these closets that we're going to go in here. I had to move it that direction. Because of that, it was going to interfere with the ladder that went up into the attic. You could see that the ladder came right there, is where it attached. So this stud would have interfered with that. So I had to take that ladder down and replace it with one of these collapsible ladders, folding ladders, I guess you would call it. The issue with that is if you see those holes in the joist there was an electrical line that went across. So putting this collapsible folding ladder would have interfered with that electric line. And along that line were two light fixtures. So to make it even more complicated, I had to remove those light fixtures, but those light fixtures were controlled by this switch inside. And in the attic, the power for the attic, the lights and the outlets in the attic were controlled by that switch, as well as another switch that was right about there. So both of those switches had to be on for the attic power to work. I'm telling you all that because the light fixtures that were along here, the second one that was right about there was used as a junction box. So all the wires, the switch from the door over there, the switch from up there, the power that went along this wall all the way over, and the light fixtures, plus the power to the attic, all those wires were meeting in that light fixture that was there. So I needed to remove that light fixture, and I didn't want to put a junction box there just because you can't cover it up to be in code, and I didn't want it sticking out in the ceiling. So my thought was to put a GFI outlet in the attic because I could use a second one up there. But here's what happened with that. Okay, so up in the attic, there's no power in this part of the attic. So as you can tell, it's completely dark up here. The only power is inside that door, which is where the air conditioning unit is and the living quarters, the house part of the structure. So I thought I could put a GFI outlet here. And I thought I could use that to connect all of those things that I mentioned downstairs, the light fixtures, the two switches, all of that stuff in one spot. But each time I flipped the power on, it would trip the circuit in the GFI. And I honestly can't figure out exactly why that happened. My only guess is that GFIs just aren't made for a junction of 4 or 5 different wires all coming together in one spot. I just don't think that's what they're designed to do. They're too sensitive. So I took the GFI outlet out and I just put a junction box in here, and everything has been working 100% fine. No problems whatsoever. So now that I was able to move all that electric stuff out of the way downstairs, I was able to put in this ladder. As you can see, it folds up, comes down, and it goes up in the attic. So there was no obstructions. I was able to get that in. And this plumb bob I've got here on the outside of that joist comes down. And you can see I got just over an inch of where that wall is going to be. There's a lot of space here, of course, so the ladder will clear it. Even here, it'll clear it by a good 2 or 3 inches. So shouldn't be a problem. It'll be pretty snug up against the wall, but that's about as far as I could go with it because of the way the ceiling in here is framed. Can't go any further to the left because of that joist. But it all fits, it all works. This thing was a real bear to get in there, but it's in and it's up and it's sturdy. And because I was able to do all of that, I was able to run new electric line. So this line comes from the attic now, goes across, and then this is how the outlets will be in here. Exposed like that. So I put this conduit in, and I've got 2 outlets across here. They work wonderful. They're GFIs. They don't trip. No problems whatsoever. So that is all good, and all of that's on a 15 amp circuit here. You can see I've got 4 open spots. So I've got everything drawn up of where the other outlets and stuff are going to go, but basically the 2 outlets that you see here, there'll be 2 more mirrored over here. And these ones will be on 20 amp circuits. So I could use thicker wire and handle more power over there. Probably put one underneath that window as well. Probably put one over there as well. And then the wall that's here, there'll be one or two along that wall as well, I think. And then there'll be all new lights in here as well. So LED lights once I get the ceiling in. And that'll all be controlled on a switch over here. So that switch right there is only going to work for the attic. So won't have to mess with that anymore. But there you go. So new plugs, new wires, new ladder, a little bit of plywood over there. Got the stud in for the wall. Got the bottom part, the plate in. And then over here, there'll be another stud that comes up right here. Don't have, it's empty, it's hollow behind here. So it's not going to tie into a stud. So this is going to be a closet for this section here. So the shelves that I put in, you can see here's the stud. I'm going to put the 2x4s that would be the brace of the shelves across here. And that'll connect them here, and they'll be dangling over here. But when I put the other wood behind it and then put the vertical stud up, it'll all tie together and it'll be sturdy. It'll work. I would like to have a stud here, but the support from these two studs coming across will do enough of a work to keep it there. And plus the ceiling, when the ceiling comes in, it's going to tie it all together across the top here. And then there'll be a wall here as well that ties it in. So it's not like it's going to be a 20-foot span without support on both ends. Be another wall there, as a matter of fact, for the divider of the closets. It'll be good. Anyways, there you go. All set.